You serious?
Hey, welcome back to How to Kill an Hour. I'm Marcus Bronzy.
I'm Sean.
Let's state the obvious. We're clearly not in our regular studio. We are in fact in DFS, just outside of London, because this show, this one right here, is supported by DFS. And not just that, we're also working with La-Z-Boy Tamla XL, because that's the seat I'm sitting in. Sean is also sitting in a La-Z-Boy as well, but the reason this Tamla XL is important is because it's been made in collaboration with Shaquille O'Neal, or as I like to call him, Shaq. Yeah? Why do I call him Shaq? Let's run the video.
Hey, Marcus and the How to Kill an Hour gang. I hear you guys are at DFS trying out my new La-Z-Boy armchair. Hope you like it.
Bruv, you got a personal shout out.
That's what I say, bro.
And he mentioned me and friends.
Yeah, and friends as well. So you got a shout out too, bro. You got a shout out too.
That is incredible.
Yeah,
honestly.
What can I say, bro? Me and Shaq, we're like that, bro.
Buddies.
What happens,
Just,
you know? I mean,
how did you keep that? How did you keep that from me? How did you?
Me personally, someone who likes to brag all the time is very hard.
I know. That's what I was thinking. I feel like you would call me up at any time of the night to be like, "Yo,
remember when I called you the other day and I didn't say anything? Like, why'd you call me? Nothing. I put it down. I just couldn't help it. But yeah, man. Listen, let's have some fun in today's show, man. It's definitely going to be a comfy one, isn't it? You're in the Pittsburgh?
I'm in the Pittsburgh.
Yeah, man.
This one is more suited to my stature.
Yeah, man. Kind of comfortable.
Very
right?
comfortable.
I like it. I'm so tempted to start pressing the buttons and kind of reclining all the way through the episode, but I don't think that'll make a very entertaining podcast if that's all I'm doing.
No, it's different, but still entertaining.
I might have to do it once though. Yeah. But we have got some La-Z-Boy themed stuff coming up, which we will get into. I look forward to that. But let's crack on with the show, man. Look, Sean, it's been a little while since I've seen you face to face, right? Work's got in the way, other bits have got in the way, but a lot has got on. And I know we're going to catch up with this later on in the show, but a big boxing match has just happened.
Oh.
Can we just tuck into it just a tiny bit before we get on with the show?
Okay. Teaser.
Yeah, a little teaser, man. So yeah, like go listen. You're the authority on boxing, man.
I am not the authority on boxing.
Between us, you're the authority on boxing.
It was just a good night. It was a great night for British boxing.
Yeah.
I think that's the main takeaway that came off it. There was so much hype beforehand that I just was worried that it would be a disappointment, and it definitely was not that. So, great fight. Both of them came out of it with their stock risen, I would say.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And we'll tuck into that a little bit more later on. Yeah. But outside of the pod, though, like I said, I haven't seen you as much, but we did actually get to catch up in person the other day, which is pretty good, man, because you're a mate of mine. A few of us went out and caught up. And, like, we had a really good time doing a bit of comedy. Like, not doing a bit of comedy, we went to a comedy show, didn't we, right?
Yeah.
Like, how was that for you, bro? Like, because that was a random one. I was going to go for myself, for my own research purposes.
We just crashed the night, didn't we?
We did crash the night and come along, like, but it was weird because for the first time, I think we went out and we did something that wasn't a super big night out. You know, usually when we go out, it's big, innit? Like,
I think that comes down to everyone having kids and whatnot, so there's less times that we can go and do that. So when we go out, we go big. Yeah, man. I think it's more that. But it was a low key night, but it was enjoyable. It
was a low key comedy night at a small venue with like 50 seats in it, and it was like
probably less than that. Yeah, less than that. Maybe like 20, 25, maybe something like that.
Yeah. And it was like
6 or 7 acts over the course of a couple of hours.
Not well polished acts as well, like openly saying that this is new material and stuff like that, rough around the edges, and it had a little bit of a charm to it, you know.
Oh, definitely. The compare was very good.
Yeah, it was
cool. Very, very good. Yeah. I think there was a little bit for everyone because it seemed as if even if some of the people weren't my taste in comedy, others were laughing. So
yeah, man.
You know, at certain people, and then so I think it was a good mixture.
And you know, there's that one person that always gets absolutely rinsed by all of the acts.
And that was you.
Compare. That was me.
That was you.
I don't know why. Like
you tried to sit somewhere which so you didn't get any of that, and you got all of that. Yeah,
man. I like literally tried to tuck myself in at the furthest corner of the room, and they're like, "You."
Yeah, it was always you.
Yeah. So it was good, man. So yeah, man. Listen, I don't know why I wanted to kick off the show that, but it's just like I said, like I think there's a certain charm to doing some low key, chill things with your mates, man. Instead of like always being tempted to go to like a 20,000 seated arena or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Or Tottenham Stadium to watch boxing. But anyway, listen, if you know the show, you know that Sean and I like to tuck into our jokes of the week. Haven't got our sound effects.
That was pretty good though. I enjoyed that.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Cool. Right, so let's crack on straight to it, man. Do you go first? Man?
Do I go first? Yeah, man. All right. A wealthy man tells another guy, "I'll give you 50K but your worst enemy gets double that. The guy smiles. The guy smiles and says, "Cool. I've always wanted 150k."
That's the sort of thing you say to me, bro. Right, cool. I asked my wife why she married me. She said, "Because you're so funny and you make me laugh so much." And I said, "Is it because I'm good looking and charming?" She went, "See, you're hilarious."
Oh dear. All right. A man asked his wife, "If I died tomorrow, would you get remarried?" "Well," she said, "I'm still young and I don't want to live alone, so I probably would." "Well, would you stay in this house?" he asked. "I guess I would, since it's nice and I really like it." "Would you let him drive my truck?" he asked. "It's useful where we live and I get a kick out of driving it myself," she replied with a laugh. "But would you let him use my golf clubs?" he asked. "No, he's left-handed." Oh.
All right, here's a Silly Sally one.
Oh, Silly Sally.
Or Silly Sal.
Oh.
Silly Sal gets pulled over by a cop and he asks to see the driver. Silly Sal gets pulled over by a cop and the cop asks to see the driver's license. Sal says, "What's that?" The cop replies, "Well, it's this little plastic thing with your face on it." Sal goes through their handbag, pulls out a makeup mirror and gives it to the cop. The cop stares at it, puzzled for a few seconds, and goes, "Why didn't you tell me you're a police officer?"
Oh. That's terrible.
It's bad, isn't it? Yeah.
How do you turn deviled eggs back into regular eggs?
I don't know. How do you turn deviled eggs back into regular eggs?
Exorcism.
Now,
Oh.
because of what Chris Eubank Jr. has done recently,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
egg jokes can get back into the mix,
Oh.
right, bro?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
At least I won't get fined for it.
Hey, innit? Can you imagine? I asked my friend what he did at the teddy bear factory. He replied, stuff.
God.
Do you know what?
I actually quite like that one.
Yeah,
I actually
good.
quite like- I was washing my car in the driveway and my neighbour asked, "Are you washing your car?" I replied, "No, I'm watering it to see if it grows into a bus."
That's the sort of thing you'd say.
You know what? If you ask silly questions, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's-
exactly. All right. I told the waitress my steak was bad. She picked it up, slapped it, and then put it back down and says, "If it misbehaves again, let me know."
That's terrible. I dreamed I was a muffler last night. Woke up exhausted.
All right, listen. Let's wrap it up with this. Let's wrap it up with this one.
Yeah.
If there's one thing that always makes me throw up, it's a dartboard on the ceiling. Oh, yes. I think we've got a couple mumbles from the DFS staff in here from that one as well.
I know. I like that one. That's a good one. That's a,
Yeah,
I've
man.
not heard that dart one.
Sorry?
I haven't heard the dart one. That's a good
Play
one.
on words. Good play on
Hey,
words.
I like that.
Also, by the way, listen, we really are in a DFS store. So if you hear like noises and people walking around, it's because we're in a real life DFS store.
There's furniture browsing happening, and it's not a silent. It's not a silent thing.
Listen, furniture browsing isn't a silent affair,
No,
bro.
no, no.
Can you imagine
Not
that?
at all. No.
I don't want to quite.
There's some proper testing going on.
Yeah. You got kid test your couches as well, innit? All right, cool. Now, Sean, usually the relentlessness of our jokes stops at that part of the show. And of course, as usual, if you want to send your jokes in, send them into jokes@howtokillanhour.com. You may end up in one of our punishment episodes where Sean and I, well, we wear each other down with bad jokes. But Sean, we finished our jokes of the week.
Yep.
But because we are based on some La-Z-Boy seats, it's only right that we have another lazy off, Sean.
We have
Let's have a lazy
bringing it
off,
back.
bruv.
All right.
Cool.
Are you kick off this time? The lazy off.
What does a lazy geologist have?
I don't know.
A sedimentary lifestyle.
Okay. I am the best at being lazy and not moving. I'm so good at it. I should get atrophy.
My other half said, "Thanks for giving me tips on how to be less lazy." I said, "No problem. It's the least I could do."
Interviewer. Okay. Describe yourself in 3 words. Candidate. Lazy.
What kind of workouts do lazy people do?
I don't know.
Diddly squats.
Oh, okay.
Very close to something else, but
We might get to that. It's not my fault that I'm lazy. Walks in the family. Oh, I like that.
What do you call a lazy baby kangaroo?
I don't know.
A pouch potato.
I was going Joey in my mind. I was thinking, that's a good one. All right. What's with the hate towards lazy people? They haven't done anything.
Last few. Let's try finish strong, Sean.
All right. That's the opposite of lazy. Wait, let's finish lazy.
Oh yeah, that's
weak.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. What do you call a lazy person? Oh, this is a reach, Sean. If this gets a groan out of you, great.
Okay.
What do you call a lazy person who is nice?
Don't know.
A sweet potato.
Nah, I'm not having that one. Not having that.
I apologize. I yellow card myself.
Yeah. Rightly so. So there was this kid who was lazy and couldn't wake up early. His mum wanted to teach him a lesson about the benefits of waking up early. She said, "Son, I'm going to tell you a little story, and then I want you to tell me what you learnt from it. Imagine two birds. The first bird always wakes up early and can find bugs to feed himself and his family. The second bird wakes up late every day and can't find anything to eat. So what did you learn from this?" The son replies, "I learned that bugs that wake up early get eaten by birds."
That's something you say.
Fair play.
You actually say that, innit? Yeah, right. So there you go. That was our lazy off. You can let us know who you think had the best lazy chat there. I think just because of that yellow card incident that just happened, Sean, I think you might have taken it this week, bruv. But, I like that, man. I like lazy stuff, I like chilling out, bro. So there you go. Now, Sean, we have a part of our show which is called Guess the Song, where I give you a remix of a song and you have to guess what it is.
Is it another bachata remix?
We've had a bachata. What was it? What was it? Was it a bachata X-Men theme?
It was a bachata X-Men theme.
What else did we have? We've had
the one
GoldenEye theme tune remix.
Oh, there was a bit of a samba vibe to that one.
There was a samba
remix. It was
remix.
definitely a samba vibe.
So we have another remix here in store. I'm going to try and play this.
Do I get to know what style it's in first, or is it just completely... I don't have to spoil the surprise.
I can tell you that it is...
Has it got some Latin flair to it?
I'm a little sucker for a little Latin flair, Sean. I've made it easier this week, right? Because I think enough has changed, right, in the show. So I'll play it for you now, and then if you want, we can.
Can I just say this as well? Like, for people that think that Marcus has gone out to search for this content, that's not the case. He's just looked in his folder of random remixes that you just have accumulated over the years.
Listen, bro. There's corners of my playlists, and my MP3 section that if somebody was to just start browsing through it, they'd actually want to have serious words of me. Like, there's just
there's a lot of extremely random stuff.
Yeah, thing is, I want to tell you what they are, but they're also going to be fodder for future Guess the Song.
Oh, okay.
You know
Keeping the cards close to your chest.
Let me give you one. I've got and I played this on air when I was on radio. I had a drum and bass remix of the EastEnders theme tune, and it was a banger, bro.
Just vibe into it.
Yeah, man, it was sick. Right, anyway, right. So this is very simple. Guess the song. I'm gonna try and play this out into the mic.
Okay.
And Sean,
I got to guess the original.
I don't think you're gonna struggle with this today.
Okay.
If I'm honest with you, bro. I'm gonna play it out loud.
Set me up to fail.
No. Listen.
Oh my days.
I know you got it,
Oh
Sean.
my days. How do I wake up?
Are you struggling?
Yeah.
Really? All right, I'll play a little bit more. And
No, as in I know the tune, but
Okay.
it's familiar. But
I know you know the song. Me and you, we've been in the club dancing to this song.
all right, one more time.
We've driven playing this song. You want it from the start, or would you like a little bit more? I'll give you the intro because that should. If I could play the guitar, this is what I play.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah. Okay. It's
We shall reveal the answer.
Oh.
You can have your guess at the end of the episode.
Oh, right.
bruv?
Right,
And we'll
okay.
reveal the answer. If you think you know what it is, cool. But you know what? It's what we call a hook. I'll keep people listening, man. Trust me.
Gotcha.
All right, bro. Anyway, let's move on with the show. So time to have our kill a bit, man. It's where we talk how we killed a bit of time. Like I said, Sean and I went to go see some boxing. We went to see some comedy. And also, bro, big thing happened. Boxing, man. So yeah, let's get straight stuck into it, bro. Like, get me, Eubank Jr.
Incredible atmosphere. Greatest stadium in the world.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. It's not my opinion. It's not my opinion.
Yeah. No, it did look good.
Know,
Yeah, go on.
what was it? Almost 70,000 inside. Filled up fairly quickly, even for some of the later prelim fights.
Did you watch any of them?
Yeah, I watched the Lyndon Arthur, Anthony Yard fight, which was their trilogy. 1-1. Good third fight. Probably not quite as Anthony Yard blew him away in the second fight. So, and I think he underestimated him a bit. So went the distance, but that was all right. But everything was leading up to the main event, which was it did not disappoint one bit. Did you manage to watch it live, or
I didn't watch it live. I regret not watching it live.
But you had a good excuse.
I was at a little family event. My mum's birthday, so it was all good.
Very good excuse then.
Yeah, very, very good. Yeah, man. Side note, shout out to the Lebanese restaurant that gave me extra baklava because they knew about the podcast. It's very good. So yeah, man.
Did you watch just the highlights, or you managed to watch the fight in its entirety?
I couldn't wait I had to watch the highlights because I had to know what kind of went on, and then I watched the whole fight a number of times. And for me, by the way, you know more about boxing than me. You're a bit more into it. For me, that was a very exciting fight to watch. Like, if you are not into boxing, I would say that kind of fight is very interesting because, you know, sometimes with heavyweights, they're a bit slower and stuff like that. But at this weight class, everything just looks like sharp and exciting.
I mean, it was 12 rounds of action. There was very little downtime. Yeah. They both just went for it from the get-go. And I think you could see in their performances, like, that the weight of the world almost, do you know what I mean? Like, the legacy, there was a hell of a lot riding on it. And they both dug deep and just pulled out performances that I don't know if many people thought that they had, either of them or both of them had that in their locker.
Yeah, man.
I mean, Chris spoke about it afterwards, saying that he didn't believe that he kind of underestimated Ben. He didn't believe he would bring that kind of smoke. So yeah, just in its entirety, it was just a great night.
Yeah,
it was.
And even before the fight, I mean, what's mad is, like, rarely do you get a boxer get less of, I mean this respectfully, have less of a reaction than when your dad pops up on screen as well. So obviously when Eubank Senior, when they showed him stepping out the car in his big fur jacket, like, always dressed like fucking. But yeah, steps out.
It's missing his monocle,
yeah, missing his. The monocle needs to make a comeback, innit? Yeah, stepped out the car. There was almost more of a response from the audience than.
But I think this is the maybe the kind of issue was that he always felt, or Chris Jr. always felt like he was always going to be walking in the shadow of his dad, and maybe that was one of the reasons why he wanted to do things his own way. But it was very nice to see them, you know.
Yeah, I never
get back together.
I never get that, you know, like when people say living in someone else's shadow, because like most of the time when that happens, whether it's like a family member or someone like a peer in the industry, it's because they've been doing it for longer than you. Like, so it's like, if you step in, like I said, I come from radio. I know certain DJs took over from DJs that had like 20-year careers and were known as legends. And they like, oh, big shoes to fill. And they'd be like, feel a bit of a way about it. But I'm like, until you've done 20 years yourself, you can't even compare yourself to them. And then when you've done 20 years in the game, they'll be 40 years deep. Do you know what I mean? So like, he will never. I think if you let go of the fact that you'll never be like, you'll never be Chris Eubank.
But maybe it's that. Maybe it's the fact that he will never reach the heights. Maybe get to the level of his dad, and therefore, and as you said, like the fact that when Chris Senior came out, that almost was more of an event than anything else that transpired. Yeah. That kind of goes in some way to proving that. Yeah, maybe he just always feels like oh, it's always going to be my dad that's in the spotlight, and I'm always going to be kind of I'm going to be playing, you know, the co-star in his own movie.
He might have to embrace the monocle, bro. He might have to embrace monocle life. He might have to really lean into it. And you know what? All joking aside, I don't know if he realizes it, but he is becoming more and more like his dad. Every time I hear him talk, his mannerisms, he's literally just like, even the way he can wind someone up with.
But that probably, as you can imagine, that probably frustrates the hell out of him, especially when they were like estranged in that sense, and everyone just keeps going, oh, exactly like your dad, you know, you know, the whole time, innit? You would just be like, yeah.
Even watching them like walk next to each other, bro, like you can just see it, man. It's mad, man. And there was this lovely little clip that like got served up to me today when I was looking at the socials, and it was a clip of a 13-year-old junior going to his dad, I want to box. And he's going, I don't want you to box because you've been brought up in this lovely household that I've created for you, and I don't think you have enough fight and enough hunger in you.
No, because there's a thing, right? If you look at 90% of really successful boxers, they come from hardship early doors. And obviously because of what their parents achieved or their dads achieved, they've had a cushy upbringing. But I think both of them proved in that ring like the heart and desire that they both possessed, even with their cushy upbringing. So
man, definitely, definitely.
But I think I believe Chris, when Chris Senior like told Chris Junior when he was young, like, don't go into this industry, it will ruin you.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. He said that to me, and he's like, you see this 13-year-old son going like, please, Dad, give me a chance. And like Lennox Lewis happens to be sitting in the wings, and Chris Eubank goes, it will mess up your features. And Lennox Lewis goes, look at me, do I look ugly? And the son, everyone's like, no, you look all right actually still. And he's like, well, he goes to Chris Eubank, he goes, why did you say it? He goes, because I just don't want him to box. At the end of this clip that they put together, honestly, it made me feel like there could be a movie in this. He's like, just say the word and I'll give you a chance. And the son goes, I'm ready. And he's like, okay. And then like when the son walks out the room, he's like, I don't want to say too much, but this could be a prospect. And then they cut to like what happened on Saturday.
I suppose from Chris Senior, right? He's like, I don't want my son to go into this, but if he goes into this, I'm going to make sure he does it correctly. I think that's probably where a lot of that maybe overprotection comes from, where, you know, he's like, I know what's best for my son. I know the industry. I know the snakes that are in the industry, and I want to help him navigate his pathway through that so he doesn't have to make the same mistakes as I made, or maybe learn some of the things the hard way, as he did as he was coming through.
Yeah, man. Do you think we'll see any more eggs in the future?
I mean, if you know you're going to get fined 100K for it, do the calculations beforehand if you're happy to.
How much did he get fined before the fight now?
It was 375K for the 0.05 pounds overweight he was, and 100K for the egg incident.
That is mad.
But I mean, I suppose it's all for the build. I don't think the fight needed it. Do you know what I mean? I think everybody was fully aware that there was genuine hostility between the two of them prior to. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't, you get a lot of this where there's two fighters have a lot of respect for each other, but they realize that to sell the fight, they need to,
madness.
Yeah, and they need to start, bringing up, things about the other person's past and this and that, just to get, and it's, it's contrived, and you can usually tell. But in this case, genuine.
So anyway, Sean, look, in order to add a little bit of balance to this conversation, we need to talk about another serious matter, and there's been something that's been quite hot on the internet of recent.
Right.
And that is the 100 men versus a gorilla debate.
Right,
I don't know if you've heard about this.
I haven't.
I don't know why.
100 men?
So, we did, we actually did.
Bro, can I just say this? I feel as if you took some of these guys, no, I'm telling you, if you take some of these guys from Dagestan, it would be like one man versus one gorilla. These guys are like wrestling bears when they're like 4 years old.
Well, remember, like we did a bit before where you could select a certain number of animals. And remember, I came with a rat hawk combo.
I remember that. That's a classic.
A swarm of hawks releasing rats onto.
You had a guy with a like a sniper rifle.
There
was some alligators, if I remember correctly.
So the internet's done a very simple version of that. If you want to find a link to that show, we'll put it in the link description. But like, the internet's done a very simple version of that. Okay. Everyone's having a debate. Would 100 men versus one gorilla? 100 men versus a gorilla. Who's gonna win? Okay. Right. So you already sound like you're siding with the men on this.
Depends which gorilla and which men. If there was 100 of me,
we're talking. Whoopsie.
Yeah,
No, we're talking silverback. So silverback gorilla is like the alpha of the Sigma or whatever, the alpha of their gang. They have.
I feel it. Can I just say? I feel as if there's only. I think there would be a limit because there's only. Let's say there was 4 of me holding one arm, and then there's only so many. Like, do you know what I mean? There would come a point where there was 2. The rest, there would be like 60 others just sitting around, being like, "Oh, I can't."
Like so, if there's 100 of you, you're saying knowing your personality, 40 have got busy, and you'd be like, "Oh, they've got this." You're just chilling, yeah. Okay.
I said there's only so many people that can help to hold back a single gorilla. Unless it was
a gorilla is, bro?
No, but I'm saying the space wise. Unless you were all piled, maybe you could just do like a big pile up, like a full pile up.
You have to do a pile up. I think that's the only. But like, a lot of men think that 100 men would beat a gorilla. I'm definitely on the gorilla side of things.
You're on the gorilla side,
bro. They weigh like I had to get.
Yeah, but how much does 100 men weigh? Do you know what I mean?
It depends on the man, innit?
Yeah.
If it's me, that could be a different.
Like 1,000 stone or something.
Well, a gorilla can weigh like 800 kilograms, bro.
800?
Yeah,
almost a ton.
Yeah, they can weigh almost a ton, bro. They are big dudes, brother. Let me get my gorilla statistics up for you, man.
Are they gonna be using their teeth and claws in this?
Oh, sorry. Listen, I've got it. They are. Wait, here we go. Silverbacks are stronger than 20 adult humans combined, and they can lift or throw up to 850 kilograms.
I was thinking that. Yeah, sorry, ton. Yeah, almost a ton gorilla. That's
like an elephant, innit? That's a bad stat.
But it's okay. So they're saying that it's as strong as 20 men. So if you had 5 times the amount, you would. My maths calculations would say that the men would probably overpower it at that point.
Maybe if it was Eddie Hearns. Eddie Halls.
I was about to say.
Yeah, Eddie Halls.
If it was 100 Eddie, I reckon
100 Eddies.
I reckon 2 of Eddie's might give the gorilla a good
really?
fight. Yeah, give it a good fight. Unless it like bites him and then he's like out of action pretty quickly. If it was a full on strength competition, like what it says, what did they have to do? Did I have to pin the gorilla down? Is there like a referee in this?
I think they're going all the way until it's a tap out, bro. At least.
Does the gorilla know this? Does the gorilla know to tap out?
The gorilla understands.
Get him in a rear naked choke and it's like...
The gorilla knows.
Or is this to the death? Because if it was to the death, it might change up the scenario. Because if it was using its teeth and stuff, then the 100 men might not be 100 men quite quickly.
See, so now you're on the gorilla side.
Yeah, but I need to know the rules, innit? I need to understand the...
I reckon it's
the small print.
It takes to win, innit? I reckon, yeah.
To the death.
Yeah, go for it.
Is Eddie Hall allowed to wear like some armor?
I don't know, bro. Nah. It's got to be. I reckon it's got to be fresh out the box. He can wear his, whatever his gym gear is, and go for it from there, bro. I don't. Start adding armor.
I'm gonna put it out there. 100 Eddie Halls. 100 Eddie Halls is the gorilla's going down. I think.
Yeah. 100 Sean's.
The gorilla's going up.
Same for me, bro. Same for me.
I reckon with your added weight, you could lie on the gorilla.
It just take longer for it to get tired. It just take longer for it to beat all of us. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Slightly longer.
No, I wouldn't get tired. I think I would just be hanging off it.
Yeah.
100 of me hanging off it. It would just be going about its business, swinging through the trees and such.
So anyway, look, my final line is going to be, I think the gorilla wins.
All right, I'm gonna go with 100 men.
Sean men or a combination of...
I see why you got... Why is it... Why, yeah, 100 average-sized males.
Okay, cool.
Well, so not me or not Eddie Hall.
Okay, fair enough. Some in between. Let us know what you think. Obviously, via jokes at howtokillanow.com. I think it's definitely...
Have we got any stats as to what people think currently of this? Is there a poll? Is there a poll happening? If there's not, I feel like
polls that I've seen on the internet have obviously by very many deluded men who have been lean. It's been like the ones I've seen have been like 90% guys going, we've got this.
Don't need to put your it's just because you chose the other way. All right.
Got this guy. I think there's other stats out there that I think
there's a lot of toxic masculinity going on. Be like, I will take out that gorilla by myself.
I'd slap it in the face and tell it to go home. Yeah. Yeah, man. I think a lot of guys think that they'd win, but I think the gorilla's taking it all day long. Right, Sean. So since we're sitting on some lazy boys and I'm on the Tamla that DFS has released in partnership with Shaquille O'Neal, we got one of the legend that is Shaq by playing a new game called Shaq or Cap. It's very simple, Sean.
Okay.
I've got 5 larger than life facts about Shaquille O'Neal, and I want you to guess which is true, Shaq or false? Cap. To kick
Okay.
off the game, I got another message from the ledge that is Shaquille O'Neal.
Welcome to Shaq or Cap.
Right, Sean?
Okay.
Shaq or Cap? How confident are you feeling before we kick off the game?
I don't know all that much about Shaq, so not so confident.
Well, before I kick off, let me make you feel comfortable,
Okay.
calm your nerves a little bit. Shaquille O'Neal is larger than life, yeah? So these facts are going to be out there.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Let's kick off. Number 1. Shaq is a platinum-selling music artist who has rapped on tracks with the likes of Biggie Smalls, Eric Sermon, Method Man, and Redman. Is that Shaq, truth, or cap? False.
Oh, I'm gonna go Cap.
You know, cap.
I'm gonna go Cap.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Sean. It's a Shaq. It's true. It's true. Shaquille, listen.
This guy does everything.
And
Jeez.
I've listened to the album. He can rap. He
Wait.
can really
How long
rap.
ago? How long ago was
We're
it?
talking early 90s.
Early
Early
90s,
90s. So
okay.
like, this is like peak Biggie Smalls era.
Yes, I was thinking if he was
like.
like, if he'd like jumped on a previous Biggie track and it was like more recent, or if it. Oh,
No, this is way back, and I've got to say it's listen.
I'm gonna have to have a listen.
He really can rap, like it's got that real 90s vibe to it, man. And
Does he write his own stuff? Do we know?
I don't want to get into that, innit? I don't know, innit? I don't know. I don't know about
But
that,
his
but
delivery,
yeah.
his delivery.
The delivery's on point.
I'm gonna have to listen
Shaq
to
can
it.
rap. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. So
Oh.
that's the first one. So yeah, no points at the moment.
Oh man.
Right. Next up, we have Shaq has his own festival called Shaq's Funhouse. It's part festival and part late night carnival.
Late night carnival. I'm gonna go Shaq. True.
Is that your final answer, Sean?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure? You sure?
Yeah.
It's a Shaq.
It's a Shaq.
It's a fact. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Shaq's Funhouse. Yeah, man. I think recently he did one over at the Super Bowl. And he DJ Diesel.
Wait. Is it like a? It's like a pop up.
It's like a proper event. It's not like a little pop up. It's like a proper Shaq themed event. People go there. There's partying. There's games. It's like really well.
And there's
known.
like a late night like haunted house that you can go into. Or
Yeah. So I think
carnival
he does a Halloween one, I believe, and he does a Super Bowl one. Am I right? Is that correct? Yeah, he does a Super Bowl one, and he does a Halloween one as well. And it is just like a crazy vibe. And you might get to spot DJ Diesel there as well, who is Shaq as well. So
DJ
Shaq
Diesel.
gets on the ones and twos. Yeah, so platinum selling artist gets on the decks. You
This
get me?
guy has no limit. There's no limit to his talents.
Yeah, well, if this is cap, this might be a limit to his talents. But the next one is he had his own computer game called Shaq Fu, a kung fu based computer game.
I'm gonna go with Cap.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
It's in fact Shaq. That's right. Shaq Fu is a 2D
Oh,
fighting
my
game that was
days.
published by EA Electronic Arts for the Sega Genesis and Super NES in October 1994. Yeah.
For the Sega Genesis.
Yeah, that's right. Mega Drive over in the UK. Yeah. That's
wow.
it. Yeah,
From
man.
the 90s, right? He was.
Yeah, and he was a playable character. Shaq Fu was basically, the storyline was he walks into a dojo while heading to a charity basketball game in Tokyo, Japan. After speaking with his martial arts master, he's mistaken for a warrior chosen by the stars and goes into another dimension and basically has to rescue a young boy from an evil mummy. And after defeating this evil mummy and his minions, he returns to the original world in time for his big game. That's right. In the game, he saves the world. Yeah, he saves another world and then goes and plays.
He got mistaken for who
basketball.
else?
I don't know. It's quite hard to mistake him.
I didn't expect.
You look a bit like Fu Shaq.
I've got to say, I didn't expect for the storyline to go that deep. I thought it was going to be a bit of a, platform game.
You thought it was going to be like Punch. Was it Punch? What's the game by Mike Tyson? Was it Punch?
Oh yeah, no, I'm talking about.
Yeah, like that. Punch Out. Whatever it's called. Yeah. No. So yeah,
I had a proper backstory of a kid who gets kidnapped by a mummy.
Yeah, that's it. and he goes into another dimension, saves the world or saves that dimension, that kid, and then comes back and plays basketball, no doubt, scores a load of shots.
Just all in the day, all in the day's work, innit?
Listen.
And then probably doing that party afterwards.
Yeah, DJs afterwards as well.
Sky.
It's mad. Right, okay. Next one, Sean. That's Dr. Shaq to you. O'Neal earned his doctoral degree in organizational learning and leadership with a specialization in human resource development from Barry University.
I think I've got to the point where I think anything you could say now, I'm just going to be like, he must have done it, right? I'm going to go Shaq with his doctorate.
Yeah, that's true. Dr. Shaquille O'Neal, that's right. And
in HR.
It's in organizational learning and leadership with specialization in human resource development from Barry University. Is the quickest I could say it.
How does HR and
do you know what?
Doctorate,
I think outside of his punditry and outside of him being in entertainment, it's known in the industry he's a very avid businessman. Like so I think that this relates to that. So like he obviously comes across as happy and jolly, but he's like a very intelligent man when it comes to business. There's stats out there about what he gets into outside of it, and I think this probably would help feed into it. Obviously being a successful basketballer, you're focused on that for so long. How do you get the business?
Where is he getting this time from? He's
retired now, isn't it?
He's got so many. Yeah, but when did he get this? When did he get this doctorate?
I think this was post retirement.
Yeah, exactly. So he was doing this at the same time as he was doing all the other things that you've mentioned so far.
All right. Anyway,
this is making me feel bad. I'm like, I need to be less lazy.
It makes you feel like you need to do more. Earlier, yeah.
Like
you need to be more Shaq.
I need to be more Shaq.
Right. Actually, it's Officer Shaq to you. Sheriff Reginald Scandrett announced that the legend will serve as the department's director of community relations as sheriff.
I mean, it's just a layup for him at this point. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to go.
Oh, okay, Sean.
I'm going to nothing but net. He's been in the zone. He's been nothing but net for the past 30 years. Yeah.
That's some all-star puns.
I'm gonna have to say Shaq.
Yeah, Sean, it's true. Yeah. There's if you can Google it,
it's not online, surprising anymore.
Shaq like in law enforcement uniform, he's been someone who has.
He was the director of what? Sorry,
he was department's director of community relations. But he's also there. You go online, you can see that Shaq in his officer's uniform.
In his one-off.
Oh yeah, of course.
Officer, was he like a deputy's?
Full kit. Yeah, he gets involved. Yeah. He can take you to school.
Oh, wait, there's more.
There's one. This is the last one. So I've lost tally. You've got one or two. You can lie to me now, and I'll believe you.
I feel like I've got all of them right now.
Yeah, I can go. Listen, we can do VAR and find out.
Don't worry about that. Let's keep going. Let's keep moving forward. Right. Come on.
He can take you to school. A school told Shaq that they wouldn't set up an in-person class for him for just one person. So Shaq paid for 15 of his friends to join him. That's right. He covered the tuition for 15 of his closest friends so they could all earn their master's degrees together. Not got that information quite here, Sean.
So okay.
Because I don't have that information, or because there is not that information. It doesn't exist. I see what you tried to do there.
I've got to do a bit of digging. Seeing as all of the rest of them have been Shaq, I'm going to go on the last one with Cap. Not because I don't believe you can do it. I reckon he could have done that in his sleep. But I'm going to go Cap.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, I'm doubting myself though now.
You kind of just said, I think it's one, but I'm going to say the other. Is that you trying to cover both bases there?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm going to say false. I'm going to say false.
So you're saying it's Cap, yeah?
Yeah.
Sean, it's actually Shaq.
Oh, Jesus.
All of these have been facts.
I should have figured this out by now, right? I thought you might have thrown a curveball in at the end there.
Bro, do you know what, bro? I really like the hardest thing about this, right, is trying to like cut down on the stuff that he's done. There is so much stuff he does outside of basketball that is like entrepreneurial, like, like educational, like community basis. It's crazy. Like, so yeah, I felt like I'd done you a bit there, but yeah, they're all.
Yeah, a bit. Just saying.
They're all Shaqs out there, bro. All Shaqs. So, Sean, what was your favourite of all of the Shaqs? And I'm sorry, I feel like I've done you a bit.
Yeah, just a bit. But I'm also intrigued as to what else you left out. Like, what else has he managed to? Everything that you've told me already is already mind blowing. I'm gonna go with the Shaq Fu as my favourite, just because it was left field. Everything else is crazily impressive that he has the time, energy, intellect, etc., to do all of these. Like, it's crazy. It's actually crazy.
You want to dust off your NES in it, or your Genesis or Mega Drive?
Mega Drive.
Play some Shaq Fu now, innit?
There's an emulator somewhere. For that.
Yeah, the hardest thing about this, Sean, if I'm honest, was trying to cut down the number of Shaqs/facts that we had in there, because he does so much, like, you know. And you asked me, like, listen, how does he get the time to do all this stuff? I don't know. No one knows how Shaq manages to pull off so much stuff. I mean, he could even pull off a collab with a furniture brand as well. Who knows? You know what I mean? What? Shout out to La-Z-Boy. So yeah, man, you know, like, larger than life. Do you know what I mean? Big up Shaq. Right, anyway, thanks again to DFS for their support and lending us this La-Z-Boy Tamla chair for the day. I've been enjoying this. Has been one of the comfiest shows ever.
Can we have a little demonstration of the XL Tamla, please?
Sure, I think as long as we don't mash up the studio equipment with our studio
it's
here.
fine.
Let's do a recline before we get out of here, man.
Is it double? Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going. I'll let you go first.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Good.
Yeah, no, this will be dangerous if we had this in the studio.
Oh. You know what? That's a good shout, you know.
Not much work would be getting done. I'm not going to lie. Not much work would be getting done.
Listen, yeah? DFS, La-Z-Boy, if you want to send us a couple of these seats, I'd be more than happy to do the pod from here.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Thanks once again to DFS.
It's going to be kind of sad now, going back to sitting on those, on the studio chairs after doing one of this.
Oh, gosh,
yeah, it's
man.
going to be tough now.
The lumbar support ain't there, man.
It's not, is it?
It isn't. But yeah, thanks again to DFS for lending us the La-Z-Boy XL Tamla. Oh, it's been great. Thanks for the comfiest show ever. And yeah, we'll be in your ear hole soon.
Peace.